Alright, hello guys again. Um, this is me just being a bit self-indulgent, and also because I I tried I tried to get to sleep, and sleep just wouldn't happen for me. So I've been listening to music. I tried to play a computer game, but I just can't. I can't. There's lots of things that I can't do since my ex left me. Just because I always ask the question like, "But playing a computer game while she's probably doing something a bit more adult, and it so it is having a big impact on me because you just don't realize how much things are kind of ruined. Tomorrow midday, I'm gonna meet up with a friend. I've not seen him for going a long time. It it could even be about a year since I last saw him. Um, he's he's had his own trials and tribulations, and but he's a really nice guy. And I suppose that's one of the problems with my illness is the fact that I um I don't always look out for my mates, and I used to look out for them. I apologise. I'm going to have a drink. I'm listening to the Sleaford mods. Um, it's my friend Tom got me into these, um, and yeah, this is like kind of like a greatest hits. I got it on vinyl. It's that. So yeah, got it on vinyl. It's been a few weeks since I've bought a piece of vinyl, so that was something. I can tell that I'm now the meds are starting to work. Because I'm just feeling like I'm slurring a little bit, and I tend to slur a bit when the meds start to kick in. I literally I've had half a can of lager. I've got half a can left, and I'm drinking it very slowly. But yeah, I can't get to sleep, so I've got to stay up and it, for me personally, I don't really care what the people say, but for me personally, it was a massive achievement to get my last book finished, ready for publication, and then out there. That was a huge, massive achievement, and especially because of all the the stuff that's been going on and just been screwing with me, everything. I mean, you know, I I would say maybe one of the major things that happened to me over the last 8 months is probably my fault, or partly my fault. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take full responsibility for the breakup of a marriage because it takes two two bad people to fuck a marriage up, basically. So yeah, what one was partly my own doing. The other one, the death of my mum, there was nothing I could do about that. It happened. It was what it was, and like unfortunately, shit happens. Um, but I've been going through a lot over the last few months. Been like a massive fucking emotional roller coaster. My intention was to get the book that just been published at the start of May, to get that out at, at the beginning of December. But I had the first I had the confession from my ex-wife. Then a few days later, I had the police raid. Then the because the police had seized all of my devices because they thought I was a right wing terrorist. Um, yep, go figure. I got a book about Adolf Hitler on my shelf. You know, there you go. Um, I so that obviously but I went out and bought a brand new laptop and a brand new mobile phone, and then a week later they gave me all my stuff back because I was expecting them to because they were saying gonna we're gonna search every single device. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, really? So I said to the guy, look, I tell you what, I'll give you my password so you can just fucking log in. I just because obviously you don't need to crack the passwords. There they are. But yeah, they gave me the stuff back. But obviously that was all that that entire period was like a big shock. And loads of really bad shit happening to me. Um, I'm sure there's been bad shit happening to uh, other people at this particular moment in time that I'm talking about, but I'm talking about myself, and it kind of it definitely ruined the December uh, release date of my book. So I basically delayed the book by about 6 months because then when my mum died at the start of this year, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to actually do any work. God, you should try reading a book, and a book that even before you read it the first time, you know what the ending is going to be because you wrote it. Try reading that book 9 or 10 times. It's and even now, the book is out there, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm not even going to pick up a copy of it because I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to pick up a copy of it, and I'm just going to flip it open to a random page, and I'm going to read a paragraph, and I'm going to spot a typo. And it's one of the things that makes you go, "Oh, fuck's sake!" What? Um. So yeah. But, that was me kind of deviating all over the place as is my want. But yeah. What was I going with this? Oh yeah, a massive achievement to actually get the book out there. Considering the fragility of my mind, it's it's like tough because fucking virtually everything that I see, everything I do, everywhere I go, all of this shit, I something either reminds me of my mum or reminds me of my ex, and I'm kind of fucking stuck in this fucking limbo world where I I can remember my friend Gary saying it was in a sketch that we did for a sketch show, and his I'd I was playing the role of somebody that lost his wife in an accident or something, I think it was, and I was like deeply upset and couldn't really get over it and all of that. And Gary's character was supposed to be a counselor, kind of counselling me. And he was basically saying, you know, if I could take away all of those memories, you know, the bad memories, but I have to take away the good memories as well. Would you still want me to take those memories away? And it's kind of like a philosophical question, really, because yeah, would you want the good memories taken away? But when you're in that point where the bad memories are fucking with your head, like the my guilt when my mum died, the fact that I missed so many opportunities with her to do stuff, to take her places, and and um yeah, the same with my ex. You know what? how how the marriage kind of ended. It's like you just kind of you think, but when your mind is overwhelmed by the bad stuff, if if I literally at this present moment in time, um, I would definitely agree to a memory wipe of everything to do with my ex, everything, literally everything, so that when I woke up in the morning, I wouldn't even remember her. Not the good things, the bad things, nothing. But I could, as if I'd never even met her. But I'm at the moment, I'm still kind of at the stage where I could probably even do that with my mum as well. That whole memory wipe. But I know there's going to be really valuable memories about my mum that I want to keep. Um, when fuck it, I'll just be blunt. When you've been dumped by a partner, um, basically you kind of go between um from one end of the spectrum to the other. Like desperately missing them to like wishing that they had never been born, so you never met them. So yeah, of course, it's kind of far easier to think about wiping away um, the memories of my ex, and I I'm sure there are probably good times. I can remember sometimes I'd say funny stuff and she'd laugh really loudly and I'd say stuff that was funny, but not like funny like a joke. I'd just say something absurd and over the top. Um, I I used to love sitting next to her in a pub. I used to. But then this is really bittersweet, but I used to um, love it when she'd go to the bar and I knew that I'd have to keep hold of the final dregs of my pint because she'd be standing at the bar while some blokes are flirting at her and looking down her top or something. Um, but like I said, that's kind of bittersweet because yeah. Um, so it it's kind of tough because and like I say, I know there are good memories. I could sit down now and probably write 15 pages of all the good things that we did over like 3 and a bit years. Um, I thought three and a bit years. That's like the second longest relationship I've ever been in. Um, it's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, I could probably sit down and write 15, 20 pages even of good stuff. But at the moment, the hurt is so bad that I would set. I can't even really think as I like earlier on. You kind of just saw me struggling to think of good memories, and that's the thing. I can't think of many good memories because my mind's just full of bad stuff. Um, and I would sacrifice the good memories that I at the moment are buried too deep for me to remember. Um, just to get rid of all of this bad stuff that just makes me want to cry like every every so often. Although, like I say, it's literally very recently that I've started to feel tearful about my ex and what she did, and in a way, it was it, when I had an affair, and I can confess to my first wife. It was in the middle of like a massive sort of argument, and I the affair had been over for like weeks, and we were. Sorry, I'm changing the side on this LP. Yeah, my first wife and me were having this massive row, and I've probably spoken about it so many times on this channel, or or maybe just on my Facebook wall. I don't know. Um, when 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 I was saying it, there there really wasn't any defence that I could give. Although there was clearly a reason why I chose to cheat on my wife, there was no defence I could give. Like if she'd have actually literally said to me, "Why did you do that?" I would have been like, "I I don't know. I, I really seriously don't know." Whereas my second wife, when in like a confession sort of thing that sent me last night, e- everything was down to me. So it was like, um, well, yeah, I shagged somebody else, and ended up in a relationship with that person, but literally it's all your fault. And I I don't know, maybe because I I actually prefer to take ownership of the bad shit that I've done. And fuck me, I've done some really bad shit in my time. I try not to think about it, but if somebody asks me about the bad shit or reminds me, be like, yeah, yeah, I know that was fucking bad shit. But you see, my second wife last night, was literally just saying, "Well, it is all your fault." Um, and there was nothing on her part where she actually kind of accepted that she did kind of do something wrong. She had an affair. Um, I mean, to start with, I thought it was just like a one night stand or one off, but no, it was a full blown affair. And she said that last night she said I it like it's not an affair because it was one of the things where just because we're married doesn't mean to say that we're married, if that makes sense. Um, that's just me paraphrasing again, but fairly accurately. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I just, I do literally take ownership of the bad stuff. I'm just looking at the time. I've been on for quite a while again. But these album sizes are like about 15 minutes. So, um, I yeah, the thing is, when people are caught out doing something which they should not have done, they try to resort to justification, and justification in the case of an affair. And if I was going to say about why I cheated on my first wife, it would be because if somebody actually did pin me down and force an answer out of me, it would have been but it was because it was something exciting. It was I'd been married to my first wife for quite a while. Or been in a relationship with her for quite a while. So we're looking at about probably. I'm literally trying to think of when we split up. I I would guess we'd been in a relationship for about uh, 15, 17 years. And so yeah, my justification would be is because it was something new and something exciting, and that's why. But in that justification, um, which I think I probably did even use with when I was talking to my first wife about it. Yeah, in that justification, I'm not according blame upon anybody else because basically, I cheat on my wife. And I just wish that my second wife would actually w- did. I wish she had of kind of said, that kind of accepted some amount of responsibility for being deceitful and hurtful and all of that stuff. It it's a it's been a really tough lesson. It's been a really tough lesson because I because now I suppose I kind of know how my first wife felt. Notwithstanding the fact that by the time I told my first wife about it, it was in the course of a massive argument, and I, we already were not in love with one another. We kind of got to the stage where we are going to break up, and and so although it probably stunned my first wife and made her take a step back, and think, "What's fuck?" You know what? Um, that's kind of different to me being left out in the cold, so to speak, while my wife is off with somebody else, shagging and everything. And yeah, I'm kind of um disappointed. Um, I I really wish that she I wish that she would have accepted some responsibility. Um, I mean, it wasn't good for my mental health. The fact she'd been in hospital for about 9 weeks, and I just wanted her back home. Just needed her back home because I needed something to kind of focus on. Um, and I needed I needed my soulmate back home, but you know, she chose to embark on a relationship with somebody who really should not have abused the trust of patients and their visitors and the the managers and the lead nursing staff and everything. So yeah, yeah, but like I say, when I had an affair, it was it was me being led astray by excitement and yeah. So I couldn't really. What could I say to my first wife? I just find you a bit boring. You you put on a bit of weight, since having two kids or whatever. That's not that's not really it's not really a valid excuse. Um, I don't know. I'm just kind of fucked in the head at the moment, guys, and like I say, the meds are starting to kick in. It's only really taken them about 2.5 hours. Maybe I should take them earlier. I took them about midnight, so maybe if I take them about 10 o'clock, which I think I actually did last night, and I I literally almost passed out because I just that sleepiness just came on top of me. Um, but I don't know whether. I don't know if I've spoken about meds before, and what I take is what I take, and if you've got bipolar or BPD, you might be on different sort of meds. I mean, the antipsychotics, I don't really think they do much for borderline personality disorder, but maybe they do. But yeah, my med regime is probably completely different to what yours is or would be or whatever. Um, but I also take pregabalin for nerve pain, and I'm on actually on quite a big dose of that as well. But when when I take the pregabalin in the morning, I don't feel sleepy. So I'm thinking it is it's it's the it's the quetiapine and also the antihistamine. So yeah, it just like really zonks me out sometimes. Um, I think after the video that I did earlier, I just wanted to kind of appear and just try to be more positive. This is what I mean about my moods kind of cycling. This isn't borderline personality. Maybe it is. The two things overlap, but sometimes I go through rapid cycling of mood. So I can feel massively depressed, and then an hour later, I feel fantastic elation, and I'm just uh, kind of hyper. It's kind of yeah, just kind of hyper, not not full blown mania. Um, but yeah, like I said, I just wanted to post a video where I wasn't being miserable, and I'd be interested to hear from other people what their experiences are of, of having both of these illnesses at the same time. Obviously, um, fingers crossed when the lockdown's all over, um, I'll be able to start doing the group therapy and CBT and see my counsellor again and seeing my psychiatrist again as well. And hopefully, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the treatment for borderline personality disorder in a video probably in a couple of days. Just my understanding of what it is, and and then I want to compare it um, with what the treatment's actually like. So like tell you guys what actually happened, and then hopefully be able to get a picture as to how effective it is. I mean, I think the efficacy of uh, talking therapies. I I I'm not convinced that they are overwhelmingly effective. I think CBT works, or it can work, but only for like a brief period of time in the grand scheme of things. I did when I had the anger management before that. I think that lasted. I don't, but that lasted a few years. That probably would have been about 5 years. I before I lost my shit again. Um, so yeah, it would be good to compare like uh, uh, thoughts of what it's going to be like, what it was actually like, and then how successful it was. But I'm not holding out much hope. But yeah, I, that's got to be fascinating anyway. So please, please tune in then. I'm gonna I'm gonna actually end the video now. Coming up for 30 minutes anyway, and plus I'm literally starting to fall asleep. So I'll I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.